They said it would only take one setback to silence the noise. One injury, one stumble, one crack in the armor, and the narrative surrounding Shedeur Sanders would collapse before it ever began. A strained oblique may not sound catastrophic to those outside the game, but within the brutal, unforgiving world of the NFL, such an injury is more than pain. It's doubt. It's hesitation in a coach's eyes, skepticism in an analyst's tone, an open door for a franchise to lean on the safer choice and brush the rookie aside. And for weeks, that's exactly what seemed to be happening in Cleveland. The Browns had their plan mapped out. Joe Flacco was the steady veteran presence, the dependable game manager who could steady the ship in turbulent waters. Dylan Gabriel was the developmental project, a quarterback for tomorrow, not today. Shedeur Sanders? For many, he was just the hype machine, a name built on headlines and legacy rather than production. A player destined to be remembered for promise rather than proof. An afterthought before he had even thrown his first professional pass. But the NFL is built on moments. Not seasons, not months, not even weeks. Moments. And it only took one to flip everything upside down. His return was quiet. No grand announcements, no spotlight, no carefully crafted social media reveal. Just Shedeur, helmet buckled, pads strapped, jogging back onto the field with the kind of focus that told anyone watching he had something to prove. And then it happened. A single throw. One motion. One spiral. One perfectly timed connection. That didn't just complete a pass. It shifted the energy of an entire practice. The ball cut through the air like it had its own will, dropping into the chest of a receiver in stride 30 yards downfield while defenders stood frozen in disbelief. It was more than accuracy. It was authority. It was a statement. The sideline erupted. Teammates clapped. Receivers nodded knowingly. Defensive backs shook their heads in resignation. Reporters stopped their conversations mid-sentence, their eyes locked on the rookie who just made the impossible look routine. That wasn't just a pass. It was resurrection. The return of a player written off before he even had the chance to be written in. And it was only the beginning. Drill. After throw, Sanders built momentum. Each rep added weight to the feeling that something special was unfolding. A sideline strike threaded through coverage that looked impossible. A rollout to the right capped with a cross-body bullet. The kind of throw that breaks the rules yet lands perfectly. A red zone touchdown squeezed into a window barely larger than the football itself. His accuracy wasn't just sharp, it was surgical. His poise wasn't tentative, it was commanding. And the silence that followed wasn't disinterest, it was recognition. Everyone in attendance knew they were witnessing something that couldn't be dismissed as beginner's luck. The first to acknowledge it were the players. Teammates who had gone through the motions in warm-ups were suddenly locked in. Their body language shifted, their respect evident in small gestures. A head nod, a slap on the helmet, a grin shared between receivers. These weren't hollow gestures of support. This was respect earned, respect commanded, respect demanded in real time. But the coaches? That was different. Head coach Kevin Stefanski stood with his arms folded, his expression unreadable. No celebration, no outward reaction, just silence. And that silence said more than words ever could. Because coaches don't stay quiet when things go as expected. They stay quiet when something threatens to unravel their carefully constructed plans. Stefanski had his quarterback order laid out, his depth chart firm, his structure intact. But with every throw, Sanders was tearing holes in it. The outside world didn't take long to notice. Phones captured the throws, videos hit social media, and within minutes the clip went viral. Analysts who had dismissed Sanders as raw and unprepared suddenly shifted their tone. Podcasts praised his pocket presence, calling his accuracy deadly, precise, and his footwork veteran-like. Ryan Clark went even further, suggesting Stefanski was clinging too tightly to Flacco and ignoring the future sitting right in front of him. These weren't fringe voices trying to stir controversy. These were respected voices rewriting their opinions in real time. And the fans, they exploded. Browns Nation flooded timelines with demands. Start him now. Stop wasting time. This is the future. Local radio lit up with debates. The buzz carried from the stadium into the city. For the first time in years, Cleveland wasn't talking about safe veterans or stopgap solutions. They were talking about hope, and it had a name. Shedeur Sanders. But excitement never comes without division. Some warned against rushing him, insisting that a single practice wasn't proof enough to throw him into the fire. Others feared the locker room splitting, with veterans siding with Flacco and younger players rallying behind Sanders. And in Cleveland, quarterback controversies are never whispers. They are storms. And Sanders had just lit the first bolt of lightning. The truth is, this isn't just about one throw, one practice, or even one preseason game. It's about the soul of the Browns' future. For decades, this franchise has wandered in quarterback purgatory, watching name after name rise and fall, none able to deliver the stability fans crave. Joe Flacco represents safety. He's experienced, capable, steady. But everyone knows he's not the future. He's a bridge, not the destination. Dylan Gabriel? Perhaps someday. But not yet. Shedeur Sanders is the gamble. The unknown. The player with a ceiling as high as the league itself, but with the risk that comes with throwing a rookie into the fire too soon. And the decision rests squarely on Stefanski's shoulders. Stick with Flacco, and if the team stumbles, he'll be labeled too conservative, unwilling to take a chance. Hand the reins to Sanders and watch him struggle, and he'll be accused of destroying the rookie's confidence. Either path could define Stefanski's coaching career, and make no mistake, the national conversation is already moving. Analysts point out the obvious. This isn't just about winning in 2025. It's about laying the foundation for the next decade. Flacco can't give you that. Gabriel might not be ready. Sanders? He just might be. And once you've seen a throw, like his, once you've felt the electricity it created, it's impossible to unsee. The future isn't waiting patiently in Cleveland. It's pounding on the door. That's why all eyes are now on Saturday night. A preseason game against the Rams, once considered little more than a tune-up, is now the stage that could redefine the Browns' quarterback destiny. For Shedeur Sanders, it's the proving ground. He knows the stakes. He knows that one performance could flip the depth chart upside down. If he shines, if he delivers throws under pressure and commands the offense like a veteran, the locker room will feel it. The fans will demand it. The media will amplify it until it drowns out every cautious excuse. But this is the razor's edge he walks. Because the opposite is just as true. Struggle under the lights, look tentative, show signs of the injury still lingering, and Stefanski has his cover. He can protect the rookie, bury him on the depth chart, and ride the season with Flacco. One bad outing could delay Sanders' rise not by weeks, but by an entire season. That's the weight resting on one preseason performance, and that's what makes this moment so dangerous, so exhilarating, so defining. This is no longer about reps or practice drills. It's about identity. Who are the Browns going to be? A team that clings to safety, trusting the veteran to guide them through one more season of mediocrity? Or a franchise bold enough to risk everything on the promise of a player who might just ignite their future? Shedeur Sanders refuses to be ignored. They thought the injury would bury him. They thought the conversation was over. But with one throw, one practice, one viral clip, he has forced the Browns into a decision they can't run from. Ignore him now, and it won't just be a mistake. It could be the Browns' greatest regret. And here's the truth. This is only the beginning. What happens next could change not just the Browns, but the NFL conversation itself. So now I'll ask you, do you think Cleveland should play it safe with Flacco or take the leap into the unknown with Shedeur? Has he already proven he's ready? Or does one viral throw still leave too many questions unanswered? Drop your thoughts below, because this is one debate that's only going to get louder. And if you want to stay locked in on every twist, every moment, every decision that could define the Browns' future, make sure you're subscribed here at Huddle HQ. Trust me, the next chapter in this story is one you won't want to miss.